I'm recording this session now, so we're going to start, okay? Well, yesterday we started with our class number 6.1, which was the first class of the week, number 6, and now we're going to continue talking about it, well, talking a little bit from a different perspective, but we're going to have like a short review. In this case, we have three different questions, no? I would like you to help me answering question by question, trying to use the comparing expressions that we saw yesterday, except that, except for, while, whereas, unlike, in contrast to, or if you want, probably, used to. It could be also helpful here, and would. Ready? Question number one, it's in your opinion, what has been the most noticeable change in our habits? In your opinion, what has been the most noticeable change in our habits as humans or as Colombians could be? What has been the most clear, the clearest
Teacher, in
change?
my case, I I began I began to do exercise.
Ah, okay. I began to exercise, or I started to exercise.
Yes, maybe five 5 months ago.
Okay, okay, very good. So in this case, since, for example, Yesenia is comparing the past and the present, she could use the expression used to. It's an example, no? For example, she could say, teacher, you know what? I didn't used to exercise, but, sorry, I didn't use, here we don't have I didn't use to exercise. With that simple sentence, I already understand that before she didn't do it, but now, well, 5 months ago, she started or she began to exercise, no? It's one possibility. Or if I want to use other of the expressions, while I didn't understand, I didn't exercise before, comma, now I exercise 3 times a week, for example, or twice a week, or every day. So, but I can use the expressions that we saw last class, right? Johan, you were going to participate, my friend.
Well, to me, before I didn't used to take classes in at night, but now I am studying English.
Very good, Johan. Okay, so that is a very good change. So before you didn't used to take classes, but now you study English every night. Well, not every night, but twice a week, no? Muy bien, very good. Any other, as humans, for example, in general, not specifically about yourself, but as humans, what changes have you seen in our habits?
Maybe with the pandemic, the people, now, people start to uh, work in with
From home?
work with from home. Yes.
From home, yeah, very good. You could say, for example, that unlike before the pandemic, yeah, unlike before the pandemic, right? Now people can work from home, or now people have from office, for example, no? So that's another possibility. And we're using the expression unlike in order to describe differences between before and now, no? Muy bien, very good. Here is people connecting. Yeah, that's it. Number two, what old habit would you like to retake? Is there an old habit that you would like to retake? Do you know what is the meaning of retake?
Retomar.
Retomar, very good. So, what old habit would you like to retake? Is there one, or you don't have any? What do you think? What old habit would you like to retake?
Me, teacher, I want to retake maybe paint. Uh, paint.
Okay, very good. When did you do that? When did you used to do that, Yesenia? 2 years ago or when?
Maybe 2 months ago.
Ah, okay, it was short time ago. It
Yeah.
was recently. Okay, very good. So she said, teacher, before I used to paint, or 2 months ago, I used to paint a lot. Okay, that's a good habit to retake. Any other old habit that you would like to retake? That you said, oh, it was a good habit.
Yes, teacher, I would like to return playing soccer, play soccer
Okay, okay.
more often.
When did you play soccer, Johan?
Um, when I was at school, uh, I played soccer more or less every day, sometimes every day. But now because the pandemic and university and other things like
Uh-huh.
job, I can't play now
Okay.
with the same how do you say regularity? No.
Yes, with the same frequency.
Ah, okay, yes,
Mhm, mhm.
with the same.
Okay, Johan, very good. So in this case, well, it happened the same to me when I was in school and university. I used to play almost every day, but now I don't have much time. But I have been retaking that, and now I play on Saturdays. But here, when you said when I was in school, I play soccer almost every day. What do you think that we can use here?
I will play soccer.
Muy bien, very good. I would play soccer almost every day. Oh, I used to play soccer almost every day. Muy bien, Johan, very good. Jesus, what do you think, my friend?
Um, yeah, so when I was in the school, I I used to sleep a lot, like 8 hours.
And now,
And now it's like the half.
5 4 hour stops, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So that is a habit that you need to retake. You should start sleeping like before, no? Muy bien, very good. And finally, the question number three, it's simply, do you think that humanity has improved or worsened? What is the meaning of improved
Mejorando,
and worsened?
empeorando.
Empeorado, right? So in that case, what do you think? Do you think that the humanity has improved or has worsened? What can you tell me? No opinions about it?
I don't know. It depends because obviously we have better things than before, but en el mismo caso, how do you say it?
Sorry, Johan, again.
Oh, how do you say? No, sin embargo, ¿cómo era?
Nevertheless, however, es bueno, más
However,
común. Yes.
however, uh, the however people destroying natural things to create new, I don't know, AI intelligence, and obviously the natural things are gonna be disappear in En algún momento. How do you say en algún momento de la
Anytime,
vida?
anytime,
In any time
anytime
of the
soon,
life.
anytime in the future.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, okay, very good. Muy bien, Johan, very good. So it depends. It depends on the perspective because it's true that while we have better technology than before, comma, than before, comma, yes, like we used to have better natural resources, right? So it's a contrast because yes, while we have this thing now better, which is technology, before we used to have more natural resources. So it depends on your perspective. Maybe we have improved some things, but we have worsened other things too. Okay. Bueno, guys, muy bien. So in this case, it was like a short review about the last class. How can we describe contrast? And in this case, we are contrasting old habits with new habits, right? Like the past with the present, and also good things and bad things of humanity, no? So we can compare and make a contrast between both parts, both sides of the story. Guys, this is the infographic of the week, and the infographic of the week is also on the platform, no? When you enter to intermediate two, the first thing that you see is the infographic of the week. And right here, I leave you one exercise, which is for like autonomously do at home. And it's between while and whereas. You're going to be completing some sentences and organizing some sentences using while and whereas, which is the topic that we saw this week. Ready? So you can click here in iniciar and then you just organize the sentences depending on what you see. If you want, you can make it in full screen over here and move the words. So here we have different words. The idea would be to organize the sentence all together. For example, we could say some couples, some married couples, sorry. Some married couples argue, yes, argue all the time. Y ahí, ¿qué creen que va después? Some married couples argue all the time.
Whereas
Okay, of course. Whereas,
others
never do. Muy bien. Ready? This is like what it's saying, like some married couples argue all the time, whereas others never do. Yes, which is the complete sentence, el conector en la mitad. Aquí usan coma. Bueno, it's optional. That's good. But the idea would be that you can organize the rest of the sentence, moving the words. It's a matter of practice, no? So you can, it's optional, it's not mandatory, but it's a good way to practice the topic of whereas and why, organizing these kind of sentences. Okay, guys? So just for you to know, it's on on the main part on the homepage of Intermediate 2. You enter to Intermediate 2, and here it says week number 2, week number 6. You have the infographic of the week, and then you have the exercise, okay? Remember that I am leaving you some videos or some activities for complete under the infographics of the week, so you can practice a little bit more at home, okay? Bueno, now, today the idea is that we're going to continue talking about these kind of things, but this time we're going to talk about a little bit more about feelings, no? So the feelings that some things produce on you, right? Then we can describe different adjectives to describe opinions and to describe how do you feel about different things. For example, we can use the adjectives that finish in ing or ed. Amusing. Do you remember what is the meaning of amusing? What is the meaning of amusing?
gra-
Mhm.
gracioso,
Yeah, exactly. It's something like funny, no? It's of fun, could be sometimes, right? And the meaning of awful, what's the meaning of awful?
Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, that's right. Awesome,
Asombroso,
exactly, very good. And boring,
aburrido,
aburrido,
of course, and unpleasant.
no placentero.
Muy bien, Jesus, no hay como una traducción literal de este adjetivo en español, pero es lo opuesto de placentero, muy bien. Disappointing.
Desagradable,
Yesenia, sorry.
profe, desagradable.
Desagradable, sí,
Algo
puede ser. Exactly, sí, desagradable es una buena traducción. Very good. Disappointing, what about disappointing?
¿Desacuerdo?
Not really. Es verdad que son adjetivos.
Decepcionante,
Decepcionante, muy bien. Embarrassing,
vergonzoso,
vergonzoso, very good. And frustrating,
Frustrante.
exactly, frustrante, very good. And hilarious,
gracioso,
muy
yeah,
gracioso,
exactly, very good. So it's not synonym, but it's kind of similar to amusing. And wonderful,
Maravilloso.
very good. Lovely,
amoroso,
yeah, that's more like loving. Lovely, it's a little bit similar to cute. It's like, oh, so tender, so lovely, right? So cute. Muy bien, very good. Marvelous, which of course it's a synonym of wonderful. Monotonous, what is the meaning of monotonous?
Monótono.
Monotonous, very good, it's very simple. Shocking,
impactante,
Impresionante.
both impressing, impacting, yes, like shocking. Yesenia, what did you say? Surprising also. Muy bien. And upsetting,
Decepcionante.
yeah, exactly. It's like bothering, no? Like molesto, decepcionante would be, right? Muy bien, very good. So in this case, these adjectives are used to describe opinion, but we can use many of these adjectives for describe feelings, emotions, right? How can we do it? Simply, we're going to find out that when the adjective finishing ing, we can use exactly the same adjective, but use ed. For example, bored. It's talking about feelings. Amusing, it's going to be amused. We already saw this part in basic too, so it's something that we saw before. And disappointing is decepcionante, but how would you say decepcionado?
Disappointed.
Disappointed, very good. Finish it with ed. If embarrassing, it's vergonzoso. How do you say avergonzado?
Embarrassed.
Very good, excellent. If, for example, upsetting, it's molesto, like algo que es molesto o decepcionante. How would you say molesto, pero de que
Upset.
upset? That one is not the same, no? This, while this rule, it can happen. I mean, it's something that can happen. It's not a rule always, right? So we have to learn about the adjectives that we can use for talking about feelings too. Now, when we want to give our opinion about different things, we can say it like, okay, I think that that object is disappointing, or I think that the movie is disappointing, or I feel, or I am frustrated, or embarrassed, or disappointed, no? But at the same time, we are going to have many other adjectives that we can use, right? For example, we can use infuriating or infuriated, confusing or confused, baffling or baffled, que es un sinónimo de confused, relaxing or relaxed, motivating or motivated, discouraging or discouraged, right? Fascinating or fascinated. All of them, remember, if the word finishes in ing, it's because I'm going to talk about the object. I'm going to say that, no, the situation is infuriating. Oh, sorry, infuriating, right? But the person, which is the person that it's feeling, right? So I could say, oh no, but he feels infuriated. So we have to be very careful with the termination of these adjectives because depending on the intention that I have, I am going to have, or I am going to use the ing, which is the past participle form, or the ed, which is the past participle form, or the ing, which is the present participle form, which is talking about the object, not the person. And in past participle, it's talking about the feelings of the person, right? At the same time, we're going to have the verb form of that word, which is the action. Infuriate, enfurecer. See, of course, infuriating, it's the thing. Infuriated is the person. Infuriate is the action. Confuse, confundir. Baffle, also confundir. Relax, relajar. Motivate, motivar. So we are going to have different possibilities when we want to describe opinions. So I could say, for example, that nah, that situation or that problem, let's say that problem infuriates me. In that case, I am not using either of the adjectives. I'm using the verb. So in the same way, I can say, oh no, he feels infuriated, the adjective. Oh, the situation is infuriating, the other adjective. Oh, that problem infuriates me so much, the verb. I decide the best thing or the best way to express what I want to express. Depends on you. Depends on what words do you remember easier, right? If you remember the verb easier, well, that's the way that you should use. But if you feel more comfortable using the INGs, okay, that's the way that you should use. But remember what is the use of each one. Okay, ready? Now, in complement to that, sorry, we are going to erase this part. Complement to that, we're going to connect the sentences, right? Using WH words, yeah? For creating a more complex expression or a more complex opinion. For example, I want to say that I really find offensive. I really find offensive when my friends when my friends call me names which are related to my weight. Is an example. I am not, but it's an example, right? Look at all the connections that I created here. I find really offensive. First, I'm talking about what is my emotion. What is my emotion here? How do I feel?
Fancy
Offensive, it would be the characteristic, but I feel
offense.
offended. Remember that when we have ed, it's used for the emotions, no? So I feel offended. I really find offensive, and then I am going to talk about the situation. Yeah. When my friends call me names. What is the meaning of call me names? Oh, I mean, not literally like me dicen nombres, sino me dicen apodos, right? Call me names. And this is going to have a specific way, which is which are related to my weight, right? So it's going to be like a clarifying or specifying sentence. Which, okay, yes, the situation is more specifically like this, right? The names which are related to my weight. That's one possibility. And I use the relative clauses to connect. When? Because it's a situation. Which? Because I am talking about the names. They are cerca de los apodos. So that's why I use which, right? But I can use others. For example, I would really say, I really hate people who always arrive late when they have an appointment, for example. I really hate people who always arrive late when they have an appointment. Connecting who, because we are talking about people, and when, because we are talking about situations, right? So, guys, in this case, the double relative clauses, that it's the sentences that we have here, are going to help me to express things, opinions, ideas, but introducing a lot of information, a lot of complementary information about that sentence, right? So possibly there is a possibility that I can use it like this, expressing my emotion first or my opinion first, and then introducing other context, or using the relative clause for contextualizing the situation first. For example, I would say, let's use it here. I would say that what I hate the most is when people lie to me. Ready? I'm using this what, which is one kind of relative clause, for introducing and for making emphasis on the first part. Then this is what I hate the most, what I really hate. And then with the verb to be, introducing another connection that it's the situation. What is what I hate? The situation when the people lie to me. Yes. Or I could say what I hate the most is people who, let's say, it's let's say students who, it's an example, students who don't complete, no sé, who don't complete their course. Of course, it's not true, but it's an example, right? So I'm talking about who because I am talking about students, people. So that's why the connection is going to be different. Now, the double relative clauses is an example. No, of course, it's an example. So the double relative clauses are going to help me to do that, introduce a big amount of information. And of course, the purpose it's depends on me express my opinion, express an emotion that I have, express how I feel about something, express one specific detail that I like or that I don't like about something, right? Of course, I am doing things here badly, but I mean like negative feelings, but I can also do it about positive feelings. For example, what I love the most is students who, of course, who complete their course. No, that's what I love the most. And it can be applied for good things, bad things, doubts, explanations, well, all different kinds of sentences, right? Hasta ahí cómo van. So far, so good. Questions, problems, difficulties?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes, no problem. Erika, how do you feel?
Bien, pues creo que es de práctica más
Yes.
para entender mejor.
Y es, digamos que aquí como tal no hay una estructura específica o un tiempo específico, sino que es cuestión de saber cómo introducir esas WH ahí, esos relative clauses para poder conectar y que no solamente, como habíamos visto antes, no solamente se puede de a una, sino que uno puede conectar más de una, ¿cierto? Porque previamente, cuando acabamos el nivel anterior, vimos que podíamos colocar defining y no defining relative clauses, pero veíamos que había de a una, ¿cierto? Acá en este caso vemos que hay más, que se pueden colocar dos, tres, bueno, una cadena de relative clauses que se puedan conectar. ¿Listo? ¿Ready? Entonces, that's it, that's it, that's it. Bueno, very good. Guys, question. What is the most confusing topic for you in terms of English? What is the most confusing vocabulary or the most confusing tense? So what is the most confusing topic for you in terms of English? Try to express it using, of course, the relative clauses connected. But just try. If it's not possible, no worries. We are going to correct it later, but try to include in the explanation, try to include one or two, if it's possible, two relative clauses.
Teacher,
Yes.
me, what I difficult the most was when I saw maybe reporting speech.
Okay, very
In my
good.
case,
So,
I think that for me it was more hard A2.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's a difficult level, true, because it has reported speech, modal verbs, so it has a lot of different things. Entonces, in that
A
case,
lot,
yes, a lot of,
a lot of activities, classes,
mhm.
topics.
Yes, a lot of topics, a lot of activities, and more weeks because it has 12 weeks, while intermediate and advanced, it has only 8 weeks, that's it. But basic one and basic two, 12 weeks, 1 month more, one extra month. Good. So in that case, Yesenia nos dijo, listo, what it was more difficult was when I saw report speech, but I can include it saying like, for example, what was more difficult, and she said for me, no, what was more difficult for me was, and that was pretty good, when, muy bien, very good, when I saw report speech. Bueno, that's one possibility. Muy bien. Using what? Emphasizing this part and using when for talking about that situation. Muy bien, very good. Any other possibility? Any other thinking, another topic?
Yo, teacher.
Dale, my dear.
No sé si estoy bien. I feel frustrated when I hear English listening, which is the most difficult topic for me.
I feel frustrated. Muy bien. Buen uso del vocabulario. I feel frustrated when I listen spoken English. ¿Cierto? Which, muy bien, which is the most difficult for me. Muy bien, very good. So in that case, she is connecting, primero, está haciendo el vocabulario súper bien, ¿no? So I feel frustrated, very good. When, situation, right? The situation. When I listen spoken English. And she's specifying that she feels frustrated, it's because the spoken English is clarifying here, is specifying here specifying here that spoken English is the most difficult for her. Okay, and here in the first part, anyway, again, she included her emotion, which is frustrated. Muy bien, Cami.
Profe.
Dime.
Profe, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre listening y hear?
Listen, it's when you pay attention to that. For example, you listen to music, you listen to me, you listen to a podcast. Here, it's when you just hear the noise, but you're not paying attention. So, for example, I said, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" It's like, did you feel the sound? Here is feeling the sound, but not necessarily pay attention. That's why, for example, people say, I listen a noise. No, I heard a noise. Escuché un ruido.
Ah, ok, o sea,
Right.
listen es como con la intención de prestar atención, de
Exactly,
escuchar,
exactly
de
like that.
hear es como un sonido en el
Exactly,
fondo o algo que uno no estaba prestando atención.
exactly. For
Ok,
example, when
teacher.
we are in a bar, imagine that we are in a bar and you are speaking to me. I said, sorry, Cami, but I can hear you. I can hear you because I am not feeling the sound, you know, I am not feeling you because I don't have the possibility to hear you because of the noise. So that's why when I use listen, that's why we use it with an intention, with attention, no, with attention to the message.
Ok, teacher, thank you.
Listo, no problem. Very good. Okay, guys, so you see here they are connecting different ways to, or they are presenting different ways to connect the feeling about something. Here, for example, Yesenia was connecting the feeling about report speech. Here, for example, Camila was talking about how to listen to spoken English, feelings about something, no? ¿Quién más? Anybody else? What was the most difficult for you, the most confusing topic for you? No, no difficulties. Ah, bueno, muy bien, very good. Maybe present perfect, maybe no, profe. What it was more difficult for me was when I studied modal verbs. Or what I hate the most is when I see phrasal verbs, for example, something like that. No? Anybody? No?
Maybe passive voice.
Bueno, okay. But express all the idea Jesus trying to connect with some relative clauses.
Mm, when I saw passive voice, um, I found it very confusing. Um, mm, ¿Se puede usar while en WH?
Pues digamos que while
No,
no sería un
¿cierto?
WH, puedes usarlo obviamente, pero no es un WH precisely, precisamente. Puedes usar, por ejemplo, which, que fue el que vimos hace como 2 semanas, que es como el más flexible de todos. Entonces acá, por ejemplo, when I saw passive voice, I found it confusing, which, y por lo cual, o debido a lo cual, no sé si te acuerdas que vimos which y una introducción de otro, right?
Which means
Sí, por ejemplo, which means.
um, eh, um, it took um, so much practice.
Very good. For example, it took so much, o bueno, más bien it has taken, ¿no? Porque todavía, supongo que todavía te cuesta un pelín. So it has taken so much practice, right? Pues mira qué belleza de oración in which you started using situation, right? Emphasizing the situation when I saw passive voice, I found it very confusing, which means it took me or it has taken so much practice to me, ¿no? Muy bien, very both connected. Ese which en este caso me va a ayudar mucho porque, como les dije, es muy flexible, muy práctico y muy, no, y es muy práctico para poder introducir diferentes opciones allí de explicación, de causa-consecuencia, so on, so on, right? ¿Listo? ¿Qué tal, guys? Questions hasta ahí? Difficulties, problems?
Teacher, I have one, but I don't know if it's correct.
No worries, no
Uh,
worries.
what I feel confused is when I listen or read text or obviously speech with phrasal verbs because I don't know the meaning of some of them.
Bueno, lo resumí ahí un poquitico, but muy bien, very good. Sorry. Entonces, what I feel confused by, en este caso, Johan, cuando usamos la expresión sentirse confundido, es sentirse confundido por lo cual debo incluir la preposición by, ¿ready? Entonces, what I feel confused by, o what I feel more confused, or the most confused by, it's when I listen to, sorry, aquí me faltó el to, phrasal verbs, or a conversation with phrasal verbs, because I don't understand the meaning of some of them. Muy bien, ¿ready? Incluso acá pudiste haber incluido otra tercera, reemplazar el because por which. For example, what I feel confused by is when I listen to phrasal verbs which are very difficult for me. Obviamente ese which, hablando de los phrasal verbs, right? Entonces, muy bien, excellent. That's a sentence, so that is the idea, no? Introduce more and more and more and more details about the express or about the feeling or the expression that I want to make, no? Like, I feel confused. Okay, why? Then I introduce all the details. When I listen to conversations, especially the ones that have phrasal verbs, because, or, which, ta, 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 connecting more and more and more ideas. ¿Listo? Muy bien, guys. Excellent. Bueno, hasta ahí, perfecto.
Profe, yo
That's
también
it.
tenía otra,
Dale, of course, no problem.
¿sí? Bueno,
Claro que sí.
em, no la hice con un sentimiento al principio, lo hice así. I remember when I was trying to learn the exception clauses, which was a very difficult task.
I remember when I was learning exception clauses, which was a hard or a difficult task. Muy bien, Camila. Very good. So again, connecting more than one idea with with one situation, no? So in that case, she's not saying any feeling, but she's just saying that she remembers, right? Maybe the feeling is good or maybe the feeling is bad, no? So guys, the other thing that we can use is using which and make, which make or made in past and the person. Ready? In that case, I can introduce after that an adjective for saying lo cual me hizo sentir o lo cual me puso, ta, ta, ta. For example, I remember when I was learning exception clauses, which made me feel sad, which made me desperate, which makes me stressed,
Correct.
worried, for example, right? Entonces, that is the idea. Esa expresión with which también me va a ayudar mucho para ello. ¿Listo? Erika?
Pero una pregunta, sí.
Claro, of course.
Esto generalmente se utiliza para describir, o sea, bueno, o siempre tiene que tener una emoción.
No,
No.
no, como lo hizo Camila acá en el último, en el último
Sí, es que,
ejemplo.
o sea, en base a ese último ejemplo, antes hay que confundida ya con la última explicación o sea, lo último que decía es que se puede agregar como un sentimiento como de negación o algo así. Entonces, por eso no entendía si siempre tenía que tener una emoción.
No, no necesariamente. Digamos que acá luego porque estamos hablando como los sentimientos en general sobre las
Ok,
cosas, pero no, digamos que lo puedes incluir con cualquier opción, ¿vale? Entonces aquí, por ejemplo, Camila decía solo, no, pues yo
ok.
recuerdo cuando tal cosa, lo cual tal, pero sin expresar un sentimiento en específico. ¿Listo? No problem. Ready? Actually, the last part is going to be related to that. Well, here we're going to have some examples. I would like you to help me to read. Who wants to read example number one?
Yeah, teacher.
Dale, my dear.
The thing that is more I know, infuriating for me is people who are unpunctual.
Unpunctual, muy bien. La palabra es infuriating, infuriating.
Infuriating.
Exactly, muy bien. Pero the thing that is more infuriating for me, it's people who are unpunctual. Recuerden que el that puede reemplazar dos relative clauses, who y which. Ready? No cuando o sea, no puede reemplazar el which cuando es como lo cual o por lo cual, which means o tarara, pero sí cuando es como which is the most important, for example, something like that, o cuando estoy hablando de un objeto. Entonces, en ese caso puede reemplazar el which. Number two.
Okay,
Me,
teacher.
Listo, Johan, y la tercera, Yesenia, ¿vale? Very good.
Okay. What is relaxing for me is the music, which is totally instrumental.
Very good. So, what is relaxing for me, it's the music, which it's totally instrumental. Muy bien. Yesenia, number three, my dear.
the people who aren't are not honest are people who you can't trust in.
In, that's it. Muy bien. Acá en este caso también uso la preposición al final. Recuerden que cuando digo en quién no puedo confiar o con quién o para quién, con una preposición, esa preposición usualmente va a ir al final. Entonces, como aquí es la gente que no es honesta son personas en quien no puedes confiar. Por eso, that's why who you can trust in, con la preposición al final. Muy bien, very good. And number four,
Ya. The traffic is something that I have when I am in a rush.
in a rush. Muy bien. Pronunciación de esta, Eri, hate.
I hate.
Exactamente, muy bien. Entonces, the traffic is something that I hate when I am in a rush. Es algo que odio cuando estoy de afán, right? Muy bien, very good. So, in all of these sentences, what I did was introducing two clauses, that, what, who, when, where, different kind of sentence of clauses depending the sentence and the objects that I have inside every sentence. But there is another possibility for using double clauses, and it's when we have wait a second, aquí, when I have indirect questions, right? You know that indirect questions are questions that start with one question and then we introduce other question, kind of, right? In this way, we know that we have one question at the beginning, followed by a WH or an if, si es una pregunta yes or no, and then an affirmative sentence. So it's going to be subject and verb and the complement, which is optional. No siempre tengo complement, right? Entonces, esto lo habíamos visto antes, como cuando preguntamos en la calle, oye, ¿te puedo preguntar dónde queda tal cosa? Entonces teníamos estas expresiones como can you tell me, could you tell me, o do you know? Expresiones muy simples, muy básicas para preguntar algo en la calle con una pregunta indirecta. Oye, ¿me puedes decir dónde queda tal cosa? Oye, ¿tú sabes de pronto qué bus me sirve, ta, ta, ta? ¿Cierto? Entonces, en ese caso, pues lo que hacíamos era modificar la pregunta y añadirle esa pregunta inicial. For example, do you know, do you know where the bank is? Right? Y quedaba, digamos que la primera pregunta, do you know? Luego el WH y luego la siguiente parte, que normalmente era una pregunta, where is the bank? Lo iba a expresar como una oración afirmativa, sujeto y verbo. Entonces, where the bank is, right? Para eso usábamos las preguntas indirectas hace ya un buen rato, que de hecho también fue en A2, como Yesenia dice, fue un nivel más o menos complicadito, pero estas preguntas también las puedo usar, ¿sí? Cuando quiero expresar, hacer una pregunta retórica. For example, I have a question and it's a serious question, but it's a rhetorical question. What I would like to know, what I would like to, oh, sorry, what I would like to know is why people stop practicing their English after the course. This, in that case, obvio. See, I am using two clauses. The first one is what, and the second one is why. ¿Cierto? But this is more than an opinion, it's a rhetorical question. Claro, obviamente no es una pregunta real porque pues yo sé cuáles son las razones, es como que expreso, pero lo que sí me gustaría saber es tal cosa, como a manera de pregunta retórica. What I would like to know is why people stop practicing their English after the course, right? Of course, I know that it's for the time, for the, I forgot, for embarrassing, for embarrassment, ¿cierto? So for a lot of different things, but it's not that a real question, it's a rhetorical question. Other ways, it would be, for example, the place, sorry, the place where I would like to go is a restaurant where food is perfect, no sé, something like that, right? This, in that case, I am using the same structure of an indirect question, introducing an expression first, right? An expression, then connected with the verb to be, and then connected with another WH, which is going to help me to introduce that information. The place where I would like to go is a restaurant where the food is perfect and connecting with different relative clauses. Okay? So it's basically the same, just that it can appear in the way or in the form of an affirmative sentence, or sometimes like these rhetorical questions. What I would like to know, what I wonder is why, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what the expression what I wonder is? What I
Lo que
wonder.
me pregunto es sí.
Muy bien, muy bien. What I wonder is, y ya pues puede ser con WH o con if, si quisiera decir sí, tal cosa, ¿cierto? Entonces, ese tipo de expresiones también me sirven y también arrancan, digamos que en este caso, con un what, que está funcionando como un énfasis en ese aspecto. ¿Listo? Guys, questions, difficulties so far hasta ahí, con estas preguntas finales, preguntas retóricas.
Easy, teacher. O
Easy.
sea, es más para, no tanto para recibir una respuesta de una persona, sino también para generar una opinión, una reacción, como para debatir algo.
Exactamente, Cami. Si estamos hablando, no sé, aquí en Colombia, chachacha, entonces uno dice como, lo que sí me gustaría saber es qué tanto se invierte en educación. Yo sé que la respuesta es muy poco o no es lo suficiente, pero es una pregunta que genera, como tú dices, una opinión, un debate, ¿cierto? Entonces es básicamente para eso. ¿Listo? Dudas, questions, guys, problems. Hasta ahí, so far. All right.
Clear from the teacher.
Listo, guys. Muy bien. Very good. Right, final activity. The question is, how do you feel about, uy, aquí está mal, this, pero está en plural, sorry. How do you feel about these things? Okay. Extreme sports, waiting people, traveling, staying up late. Choose one of the activity or one of the actions that is there in the screen, and tell me what is your opinion about it, about that expression. What do you feel? How do you feel? Porque a mí lo que sí me gustaría saber es por qué la gente no llega puntual. Es un ejemplo, ¿no? Entonces hago una pregunta retórica. Yo sé que la gente no llega puntual porque pues somos colombianos y cha 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 y whatever, pero es una pregunta cuando digo es que a mí no me gusta esperar. Entonces lo que sí me gustaría saber es por qué la gente no llega puntual. Entonces, try to make it. Double relative clauses, rhetorical question, como quieran hacerlo, but present an opinion about one of these four topics. Solo uno, about just one of the four topics, okay? What do you think? Ready? You got one opinion about something of this?
Yo,
Dale, my dear, very good.
I, I feel eh, angry when eh, they make, bueno, when the people waiting. O sea, cuando la gente me hace esperar.
Yeah, exactly.
When, pero ahí cuando la gente, o sea, when people waiting.
When people make me wait.
No.
Yeah, cuando, literal, ahí sí literal es me hace esperar. Make me wait.
Maybe, bueno, maybe.
Porque ahora no quiero decir mouse. Sorry, wait, wait, wait. And wait a second. Bueno, anyway, vamos a hacerlo aquí rápidamente. Entonces, my dear, hablando de punctuality or waiting for people, so you said, can you repeat, please, the sentence?
I feel angry when
I feel angry, sí. When.
when people, bueno, cuando la gente me hace esperar.
Entonces, when
When
people, el verbo hacer,
people
make, pero es me hace. Entonces, make me
make
qué?
wait.
Make me wait. Muy bien, very good.
Ah,
Yes, very good. So I could say, for example, I feel angry when people make me wait. When we have an appointment. What do you know what is the meaning of appointment?
Cita.
Es una cita, muy bien, very good, right? Entonces, sí, ahí tienes ya dos conectores. I feel angry when people make me wait when we have an appointment. Otra opción. What I would like to know is why people arrive late to their appointments, ¿no? Entonces, Obviamente no es una pregunta real, sino que dices como, oiga, pero ¿por qué la gente no llega temprano a las citas, ¿cierto? Expresando que es algo que te molesta. Muy bien, very good. ¿Qué más? What other?
Profe, yo traté de hacer o sea, de double relative clauses y
Ajá.
de las preguntas retóricas, traté de hacer dos con la misma frase que
Try.
había dado ahí. Bueno, the first part is I can't understand how people can stay up late. I'm a person who don't like to do it. When it happens, I feel frustrated. No
Ok.
sé si está bien.
Está bien, aunque pues igual incluirle what para decir lo que no puedo entender. What I can understand, it's how people can stay up late, ¿cierto? Y ahí ya conectas una con el what y el otro con el how. Muy bien. Entonces, what I can understand is how people can stay up late. And then you said because, bueno, I am a person. I'm a person who what?
Ah, who don't like to do it.
Muy bien. Who don't like to do it. Very good. Y ya en ese caso incluiste de hecho tres, ¿no? Entonces, what,
Ah, ya,
how,
sí, ya ahí está la doble con el what, ya está, sí, ya,
and
total.
of course. Sí, exacto. Pero muy bien. Very good. Excellent, my dear. Muy bien. Anybody else? Vamos a ver otra vez por acá. That's it. Listo. Any other opinion about these expressions, these actions? Mr. Johan, Mr. Jesus, what do you think? Dale, Jesus, go ahead, my friend.
I have one, but I'm not very sure.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I wonder why people, especially students, stay up so late, which I consider very concerning.
Excelente, very good. Puedes incluir el what, aunque no es necesario en este caso en la que tú hiciste. Pero muy bien, vamos a escribirlo con el teclado para que es bien larguita, pero muy bien. Wait 1 second. Then I said, you could use what I wonder o simplemente I wonder why, ¿cierto? But I could say, what I wonder is why students stay up so late, which is very concerning, you say?
Yes.
Concerning, muy bien, very good. That's it. So you included what, why, and which. Or only as you wanted to do it before. Yes, very good. I wonder why students stay up so late, which is very concerning for me. And they're about at that time, right? Muy bien, Jesus. Excellent example. Any other guys? Mr. Johan, you have one?
Yo tengo otra, teacher.
Dale, Cami, go ahead.
My big concern is whether or not people are aware of the dangers of extreme exports.
Okay, muy bien. My big concern is whether, espérame, whether, no, si no se escribe whether or not people are what, sorry?
Are aware
Ah, aware
of the dangers of extreme exports.
bien. Okay, of the dangers of extreme. Y aquí esa palabra exports sería como exports, pero deportes, mira que no tiene E antes de la S, entonces es extreme sports. Listo, sin marcar tanto la E previa porque no existe, sería como extreme sports. ¿Vale?
Okay, teacher,
Perfecto.
sports.
Exactly like that. Muy bien. Listen, my dear guys, very good. So here you can see how these sentences are constructed and connected using the relative clauses here, right? And of course, that we have different vocabulary about opinions, no? Concerning, angry, different ways to express how do we feel and what about the details that about what we feel, right? If I feel upset or concerned, why? No, because of the people that, okay, so I start including more and more details, okay? Bueno, guys, so this week were two classes, and I think this topic it's going to be also part of the next week. So you're going to find it in the next week activities. But the next class is going to be on Friday. Okay, so next week we have only one class, and it's going to be on Friday. Yeah, I tried to accommodate my schedule, and it's going to be Friday 28 at 8 p.m. Okay, so tomorrow you can already program your classes, and that's it. So guys, thank you for being here for the participation, and see you the next class until next Friday. It's just one class, and it's going to be on Friday. Okay. Have a good weekend.
Okay, teacher, bye.
Que
Okay,
descansen. Have a
teacher,
good
thank you.
Bye.
night. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
teacher.
Thank you so much.